We all know that Stargate Universe and Firefly
I aim to misbehave.
should never have been cancelled. It was a crime against sci-fi fans and, dare I say, a crime against humanity. But are there other series that were also cancelled too soon that hurt me almost as much? This is my top 3 of the shows other than Firefly and Stargate Universe that really stung when they got cancelled. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. When I found out that Stargate Universe was cancelled, it actually did cause an emotional reaction. And I'm British, so for me, that's quite a lot. That's like me falling on the floor, crying and hitting the floor. It really did sting, and it still stings. It was a show that was really starting to get better. As you know, regular SciTrekkers, I'm not the biggest SGU fan. I actually thought it was a little boring, at least at first, but it was improving. It was getting better, and it was a storyline that I desperately wanted concluding. And at the end of the day, it was still Stargate, so it was still better than 99% of the other stuff out there. But what other shows stung me as much when they were cancelled? I've also got to ask one big question. We point fingers at Netflix for being a little bit cancel heavy, but to be honest, 4 out of 5 of the shows I'm talking about in this video were cancelled by one company. Get into the comments right now and tell me if you can guess who that company is. Have you done that? Okay. The first series I'm going to talk about is a show called Almost Human. Brilliant Carl Urban in it before he obviously became, is he an Aussie in that series? I'm not really sure. And 4-letter word happy.
But don't you worry. Daddy's home.
Carl Urban is just one of those actors that I love him in everything he does. He's just brilliant. So when I saw that he was doing a new TV series, even though it was being produced by Bad Robot, but this was back before Bad Robot ruined everything it touched, I was seriously excited. He co-starred with Michael Ealy, and it was a little bit along the lines of another J.J. Abrams series, Fringe. The basic premise of the series is that science and technology in the near future has just exploded and got out of hand. So all of the police were being partnered with a battle droid, almost human cyborg. The series was incredibly expensive and unfortunately just didn't get the viewing figures. And it was a massive shame because every episode is an absolute joy. If you ever get the opportunity to check it out, please do. And honestly, it hurt me when I realised this show had been cancelled. I didn't see it first time around because in Britain it wasn't shown. But when I did finally get to see it and then it just ended, it hurt, man. It hurt. And it really is gutting that Fox decided to cancel it. And if you put Fox in the commentaries a little bit earlier when I asked you to, well done you. Because just like Firefly, Fox cancelled this show halfway through the first season. The idiots. Dark Angel was a brilliant TV show by James Cameron. It was basically about a bunch of young, genetically engineered children that escaped, and then the story followed them in their young adulthood as they were desperately trying to survive and find out the answers about their mysterious lives, etc. They were basically a bunch of criminals as well, basically criminals for hire.
They designed her to be the perfect soldier, a human weapon. Then she escaped.
Now, I love this show mainly because of Jessica Alba, because I love her, and anybody who doesn't is an idiot. That's it. That's all I've got to say about Dark Angel. Jessica Alba. No, really, it was brilliantly well written. It was beautifully filmed. It was obviously a James Cameron production, so it was done well. It was a really clever story. It really did mix genres, even though it was a sci-fi show. It did have a lot of action. It did have a lot of fighting, etc. But it also had a real tender side of it. And it had basically a bunch of very young people desperately trying to figure out who they were in the world. It touched many different aspects. It wasn't just fun and sexy and a little bit sassy. It had an emotional heart as well. It was a show that was glorious in its day. It only made 2 seasons. Again, it was cancelled mainly because of Fox, and it was just horrendously expensive to make, and compared to how many people were actually watching it, it just didn't add up. So again, thank you, Fox, for cancelling a perfectly good show. Finally, the number one show that really stung me when it got cancelled, because again, this was another show that was really starting to get its legs and was really starting to get to a point of brilliance. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Come with me if you want to live.
Starring Summer Glau, who I also love very much, and Lena Headey, who went on to appear in Game of Thrones, obviously very famously, and she was in the Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban. Actually, she was brilliant in that as well. She played Sarah Connor. Summer Glau played a Terminator. There was a John O'Connor. There was a guy from 90210 in it, and he was actually really good too. Brian Austin Green. He was fantastic. Garrett Dillahunt was another Terminator, if my memory serves, and he was amazing as well. The casting for this series was perfect. There was a lots of twists and turns. Sarah Connor never trusted Summer Glau's version of the Terminator. And the relationship between Summer Glau's Terminator and John Connor was really, really interesting. She would sometimes be good, sometimes be bad, sometimes you really didn't know either way.
You don't know what you're about to do.
Yes, I do. You're gonna kill me.
No, John, you can't do this. You're not doing the right thing. This is not the right thing, John. Things are good now. Things are fine now. I ran a test. Things are good now. I'm fixed now.
And that made the show really, really fascinating. It rewrote some of the canon. It had a few issues with production, etc. But generally speaking, this was a really clever show that was adding a lot to the story. It was, as I said, it was brilliantly cast. It was beautifully written. It was a brilliant TV show. I was glued to my screen week in, week out. But again, because of high costs, etc., Fox cancelled it. Damn you, Fox. I'm glad Disney bought you, and I hope they sell you. These are 3 TV shows that I was desperately sorry got cancelled, that really were actually getting their legs and really deserved a little bit more trust from Fox. Instead of cancelling it, why didn't they just try to, squeeze the budget a little bit? Unfortunately, that probably would have killed them anyway, but you know what I mean. Give them another chance. They deserved it. Just like Stargate Universe and Firefly deserved more, we desperately deserved more of these shows like Almost Human, Dark Angel, and the Sarah Connor Chronicles as well. Try saying Sarah Connor Chronicles quickly. It's quite hard. But guys, am I missing more series from this list? Are there more TV shows that deserved more that got cancelled too soon? Now, I'm thinking shows like Farscape, but they got 4 or 5 seasons, so I don't think they count. But maybe something that only got 1, maybe 2 seasons. Those are the type of shows I'm thinking about. Get into the comments and tell me if you can think of any more. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our new videos appear first. And you get to see them without the adverts for a small contribution each month that really supports the channel. And you get a free gift after 3 months. Can't say fairer than that. Also, go to scitrek.co.uk, where we do articles based on most of our videos, and we try to add a little bit more information for you to digest. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.